It's a terrible football show, all right?
I want whatever you guys are smoking right now.
Come on, Shane. OH. OH.
Oh, baby, yeah. Shane, I swear to God.
Welcome to a terrible football show.
That's my quarterback and my teammate, man.
Ruins my fucking holiday every damn year.
Alex,
What up?
you could thoroughly kiss my ass.
Why not let us decide the top four?
Yeah, let a terrible football show
Let a terrible
decide the top four.
Fuck you, Shane.
Roll Tide. Have a good one, guys.
Oh,
Have a good show.
oh, yeah, he's got to go. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
I like that Baker Mayfield and myself, man. He was baking up there in the Browns, and it just turned into a big old shit pile. So,
Get that right. I will fly you out and take you to a game in Dallas of your fucking choice.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he's successful at just giving his terrible opinions, so why can't I? It's a terrible football show after all. Welcome to the Terrible Football Show, episode 76. I'm Alex Light with Sparky3. Hope you're having a phenomenal day today. Whether you're watching this live alongside of us, watching it, listening after the fact, we appreciate the hell out of you. We're a little bit short-staffed here today. No Jacob at this time. If he pops in, awesome. No Shane as well. If he pops in, awesome. I don't know if we're going to see him, but we do have Ricky. But not only do we have Ricky, we got him in studio. Ricky, what's up, dude? Long weekend for you, huh? After Saturday, right? Man, I hope Jacob pops in. I hope Jacob pops in.
you know,
Defeat. This is the face of defeat right now, everyone. He's defeated. Hey, Ricky, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm a Bears fan. All right. I'm very defeated myself.
there's a huge difference, though, Alex. There's a huge
I don't know if there
difference.
is.
Chicago has a lot more to root for than the Chicago Bears.
I mean, that's fair.
We don't have crap at Arkansas, but the Arkansas Razorbacks. It's
Don't
every,
disrespect the
it's every year.
don't disrespect the Red Wolves.
Every year. You know what I'm talking about. Since when were the Red Wolves good? It's been too long ago.
Like what? Within the last 5 years?
Okay,
Come on.
okay. I'll give you that much. Okay, I'll give you that much. I'll give you that much. But nobody gives a damn about the Red Wolves.
That's true. Hell yes.
Have you been to an Arkansas State football game? It's
No.
actually pretty neat to go to one. I would love to take Shelby.
But
to one.
I go to Jonesboro all the time for work, so
And so-
I
well,
drive
but just
past
say,
the
you know-
stadium almost every time.
Well, Shelby wants to go there because it's a Red Wolf. My daughter
Yeah.
Shelby wants to go there because it's the with Red Wolves and everything like that. Oh my God, we're
Losing to BYU. And Jacob called it
What?
last week, too.
You know what, Jacob? You better be damn glad you're not here right now. And I got a bone to pick with everybody today. Why does Shane have to always pick the Arkansas games? You're just picking us to be an embarrassment. Are you kidding me, man? And then Jacob has to be online. Oh, I think I will pick BYU to win. Of course you're going to pick BYU to win. Because in the history of a terrible football show, I don't know a single time that Jacob picked Arkansas to win.
I don't think he ever has.
I don't think he ever has
No.
either.
I
Which
think
makes
I
him
picked Arkansas last
unobjective.
week.
You did pick Arkansas last week, but I got a bone to pick with you too because
Well-
there was something you said last week that I'm like, what? What?
All right, we'll get to it. We got a lot of stuff to get to today, and we're on a time schedule because Ricky does have to leave at a certain time to go watch his daughter play a game. So shout out to that. So we're on a little bit of a time schedule, so we are going to make sure we try to hit everything that we can. Of course, stuff with the NFL last week, hit the main points we want to chat about, especially with college as well. And then most importantly, we're definitely looking ahead to week 4 of college because it is stacked. It is so stacked to the point that if you're in our Run Your Pool, for the first time like ever, not counting the last week of the year, I gave us more than 20 games. We're at 30 games this week to pick because there's a lot of damn good football games this week, and I wanted to get them all in there because we have like 5 ranked versus ranked matchups, and those are always in there regardless. So I mean, there's more than that. There's technically 6 because our game of the week's ranked versus ranked. So 6 ranked versus ranked. That's really good. A lot of good games across the board. So I'm looking forward to chatting about all that. The Bears, of course, we'll get to it. And then, of course, the new segment we introduced last week, the Dicks of the Week. Ricky was a fan
No,
of it.
no,
He
no.
texted
We
me
already
about
know
it.
what the D is. We already know what the D
Yep.
is in disappointing everybody.
Yeah. See, I had a solid set disappointing already done, and then it changed. And mine's not gonna be as like funny as yours will be probably.
No,
but,
no, yeah. Mine might be a rant.
Yeah. Next week though, I will have a sound effect for Dicks of the Week. So shout out to that. I think I'm gonna use my little high pitched voice over here to make a little Dicks of the Week sound effect and just press it whenever we get to the segment. So, but yeah, hopefully one of the boys like Jacob or Shane could pop in. If not, no big deal. But first and foremost, make sure to join the Discord. You can come be a caller on the show and chat with us. Check out some Rogue Energy as well. You can use our referral link. And, of course, head over to Agent Inc. and pick up a jersey. Before we really jump into the show, I want to go ahead and throw out a little piece on something that just really just irks the shit out of me, you know, when it comes to sports. Any sport, doesn't matter. Football, basketball, anything. It does not matter. But, like, something that absolutely just irks me in sports is, like, we as fans – like, I understand, like, we love our teams. Like, we're passionate about the game. We're passionate about our team. You may be supporting your team for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, or even the case of, that Colorado old woman fan, whatever, maybe like 90 years, whatever, shout out to that. But, like, we got to take a step back and realize at the end of the day, this is a football game. This is a game, keyword game. That's what this is, and we need to relax. I'm throwing my thoughts out here because of two things that happened over the weekend. The first being, of course, the very upfront, we'll address this, very dirty hit by Henry Blackburn on Travis Hunter. That was dirty. I don't care. You can't convince me otherwise. I don't think it was dirty with intent. I think it was dirty with being in the moment. There might have been some little hatred with there. They got a little beef before the game and stuff. I don't think it was intent, but it was a dirty hit regardless. But him receiving death threats, and most importantly, his family receiving death threats, that's pathetic. That's gone a little too far. We need to kind of ring this in and stuff. But then the other thing, and this I've actually got it pulled up here right in front of me on my monitor because I wanted to make sure that I shouted this out because it just irks the shit out of me, man. Over the weekend during the New England and Dolphins game, there was a fight that broke out up in the stands between some fans. And there was a man named by Del Mooney. He was a 30-year season ticket holder for the Patriots, longtime Patriot fan, whatever. Him and another guy got in a fight. Dale apparently got punched in the face, fell down, hit his head pretty hard, and he ended up dying. So this fan that did this fight, he's going to get charged with manslaughter, probably spend a lot of time in jail for a stupid disagreement over a fucking football game. So we got to ring this in, people. Like, I understand tension can get high and shit, but at the end of the day, it's a fucking game. A man lost his life, and a man's going to get charged with manslaughter for something stupid. There's just no room in that in sports. It's stupid and it's idiotic.
So I'm glad you brought that up. There's one thing I would encourage everyone to watch on Netflix. It's that Untold series that's been going on right now. They just finished one with the Florida Gators, which I thought was an okay one. But there's one that they did with Malice at the Palace. And if you were to, I remember like it was yesterday whenever that happened, fight breaking out, because Ron Artest decided to do something stupid. But that's the kind of stuff that we got to stay away from. And, they paid it, the players, Steven Jackson, Jermaine O'Neal, Ron Artest, they all paid a pretty hefty price just for doing that. And I don't know of course, I know this is a football show, but I'm trying to make a point.
Yeah.
Jermaine O'Neal was on his way to become a superstar in the NBA.
True. And
just that moment right there turned his entire career around because he was really never the same after that. And I think a lot of it had to do with I think mentally he really just kind of went away. And of course, we know what happened with Ron Artest, and he's made amends for it. He's won an NBA championship with Kobe and the Lakers and everything like that. But I mean, you're talking about college football. We're talking about kids. These are still kids. And this is the biggest reason why I've always been against NIL. This is the biggest reason why I've always been against these kids getting paid. And I understand the whole situation. Well, they get injured and yada, yada. You know what you sign up for. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole bottom line is that you know what you sign up for. At the end of the day, they're still kids. They're human beings. And if those who are giving death threats to the families and even to this kid who made a terrible mistake, you're a child. Like that's there's no room for that anywhere.
Yep.
Anywhere in football. I don't care what the situation is. Arkansas may lose every damn game the rest of the season, but that doesn't mean I'm going to kill somebody because of it. Come on, people.
Yeah. No, there's no room for it in sports, man. Like the fights and stuff. While the thing is also like for the people that aren't in the fights, like us on social media, like we have a guilty conscience of like we enjoy watching those fights, but like then you see a situation like what happened with Dale Mooney where he died at this game, just from. It wasn't even anything like atrocious. It's just unfortunately he just hit his head, and I guess it was just one of those freak incidents. But it's just like I don't know. I just don't like. While there are times where like we it's like looking back to high school, everyone would have their phone out recording some fight between fellow classmates. It's like I get it. It's like heat of the moment kind of thing. But at the same time, let's look at the bigger picture. There's no room for that in sports. Because again, someone died and someone's gonna get charged with manslaughter for something fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Just for something stupid. I don't know. I wanted to start the show off with that just because, like I said, I was scrolling here on Twitter before we started, and I saw the thing about the guy that died, and it's just like, well, that's just ungodly unfortunate in every way possible. But anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and jump into some football chat. Let's kick things off with college. I do have the title of this episode after college, so we'll start there. Week 3 of college in the books. Week 4, very, very stacked week ahead. We have Florida State and Clemson to look forward to. I think Oklahoma and Cincy could be a pretty good game. Colorado and Oregon, UCLA and Utah, Ole Miss and Alabama. Arkansas and LSU.
Shut your mouth.
Good luck.
Shut
good
your
luck,
mouth.
Good luck.
Those words are not allowed from you, sir.
Oregon State and Washington State. Shout out to the Beavs and the Cougs. Me and Jacob's teams are going to be going at it there. Ohio State, Notre Dame, Iowa and Penn State. We got a lot of good games this week, but let's take a quick little look back at the week that was. With week 3, shout out to Miami getting a big win, as they should have. But
they played Bethune. That's not a big win.
When I say big win, I mean point wise. Like, good job, guys. That's what we should have done.
Anybody can beat Bethune.
That's exactly the point. They did what they needed to do, and that's what's important. Oregon beating the shit out of Hawaii. I knew that was going to happen. You best believe I hit that spread in betting because I knew that. I love my bows, but I knew what was going to happen. Georgia showed some weakness against South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina brought it. 24-14 final score. What did you think of that one?
So, and of course, for you also mentioned South Carolina had a 14-3 lead at the half.
Yep.
So, and that was one of the things last week that that if I would have been here, I would have called that out because Jacob said it was going to be a blowout. And I'm like, have you watched Georgia? They don't have an offense. And that's the biggest issue with Georgia right now. They don't have an offense. And that was one of the biggest things coming into this season was I knew defensively Georgia was going to be pretty good. But it was offensively that I'm like, are they really going to be that good? If you look in their 3 games right now, just in the 3 games that they've played, they have struggled offensively every single game that they played. It took 3 quarters for them to actually pull away from UT Martin. It shouldn't have even been a ball game in the first half, but it took 3 quarters just for that. And I understand. First game of the year. UT Martin's one of those teams in the FCS. They have nothing to prove to anybody, even though they do have they are expected to have a pretty good year in the FCS. But it's one of those deals where it's like, okay, you have a team that you're supposed to just just smack them, destroy them, be done.
Yep.
And it took over 3 quarters just to even pull away from them. So that's when I'm like, okay, defensively they're fine. But if UT Martin had any kind of offense whatsoever, you're talking about a much different ball game. And then of course I think they play. Who was it week 2 they played? I think it was Ball State or someone like that.
Ball State.
Yeah, nobody cares about Ball State.
Yeah, exactly.
But coming into South Carolina, I'm like, okay, South Carolina, even though they did have a pretty bad loss in week 2, I really thought that if South Carolina's offense could wake up, because you're actually playing, regardless if you like Spencer Rattler or not, I really don't, but regardless if you like Spencer Rattler or not, he is an experienced quarterback. He has played major Division I college football. He was going to give fits to this Georgia team, and that's exactly what happened. And I'm just going to shout it out there. Georgia has a very, very weak schedule. Yeah. But there are a couple of teams out there that have decent offenses that can beat this bunch. Kentucky being one of them, and so I just want to point that out. And of course, we can go. How in the world Florida beat Tennessee so bad? Oh my gosh,
man! So hey, my direct boss, he's a diehard Tennessee fan, and man, me and him talked about it. And what he told me is just like, man, all my years of being a Tennessee fan, the thing that frustrates me the most is this team these teams have always had so much talent, but they can never win.
Yeah.
And he's just like, especially in Florida, we can't win in Florida, and I don't know why.
It's it's just one of those things. It's the atmosphere. It's the
swamp is different.
The swamp,
man.
exactly. Just kind of like how what is it, Kyle Field or whatever it is at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
The stadium. They have a stadium now. It's not just just a field anymore or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's like there's something about that place. It's kind of like last year when Jacob brought up the whiteout at Penn State. There's just something about it.
Yeah,
It's different.
Night game, Penn State, whiteout. That's deadly.
Night game in Baton Rouge in November.
Yeah, it's
so
deadly.
It's just, and it's like,
because see, the thing is, like, about these situations, like, let's say the exact 4 teams you mentioned: Texas A&M, Florida, Penn State, LSU. In an alternate reality, these teams could be 0-10, but you go to their stadium and there's a legitimate chance you could still lose. You could be the #1 team in the nation going to an 0-10, one of those 4 teams, and you still could potentially lose because the environment is just different. That's just how it is, man.
And so, but yeah, like I said though, with Georgia though, they're going to start. They've got to figure out their offense quick, because once they start playing some of these East teams that have a decent offense, and just as good of a defense as they. Now, believe it, now I'm not saying that there's a team out there that has just as good of a defense as they do.
Yep.
But what I'm saying is that there's going to be defenses that their offense is not going to be able to score on as much, and so so they really need. I don't think anything. I'm not going to say it's a shock, because really nothing shocks me anymore. But South Florida and Alabama,
that was shocking.
South Florida and Alabama. This is again an example of, and I told you guys at the very beginning of the season, who was it that picked Alabama to win the West?
Not me.
What is it, Jacob, that picked Alabama to win the West?
No, I think he was high on Texas A&M.
He might have been high on Texas A&M. It might have been. Maybe
No. God, well,
I thought someone here picked Alabama to win the West.
it might have been Shane.
But I told you guys, I saw something I've never seen. Like I said, I know spring games mean nothing.
Yeah.
But they look like garbage.
They do. I've been
on
with you.
both sides of the football.
I think this is a 3 or 4 loss team, like legit.
Yes. And so it legitimately 3 to 4 loss team. And now they're playing Ole Miss this weekend. And they're at home. You know when the last time Alabama lost 2 games at home in the same season?
When?
2007, Nick Saban's first year. And so
no, and that's possible because, like, they also have to host LSU as well, and that's going to be a big one. So they could lose 3 games at home.
Yep. And that's 3 games at home this season.
They just don't have an offense, man. That's the issue. They just don't have they don't have the quarterback figured out, because it's kind of the way I look at Alabama right now with the quarterback Jalen Milroe, or whoever they started another guy this past weekend, but whoever they're going to play, it's kind of the same equivalent of what I described as DJ Uiagalelei, where it's like him going to Oregon State. He's given the opportunity to change the narrative about him from the guy that came after Trevor Lawrence, DJ Uiagalelei, to Oregon State quarterback DJ Uiagalelei. It's kind of the same thing with Jalen Milroe, whoever. They're now becoming the quarterback that came after Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, Bryce Young. Like, they're like, oh yeah, that's the quarterback that came after them. Yeah, that's not like the next guy. You know what I mean? That's what's happening in Alabama right now. They don't have the next guy. They just have a guy.
They don't, and they've like I said, that's something else that they're gonna have to figure out. And then of course Boston College.
I was gonna ask you about that. Like, do you think that's a crack in fuck Florida State's armor, or do you think that's? I've been high on Boston College.
Yeah, I have too. I think of course Boston College, they're 1-2 right now. I can't remember who their 2 losses were off the top of my head.
NIU week 1, who are actually good this year.
Yeah,
and then now Florida State.
And so they, so yeah, I mean, of course that NIU
loss. They did play.
Even though I know NIU is a very good football team, that's a football team that this Boston College team should not be losing to.
I agree, and they had played a very close game with Holy Cross, but Holy Cross is a top 5 FCS program, so that's understandable in my opinion.
Right, and so, but yeah, with Boston College is at home. Yeah. I mean, when you're hosting a team like Florida State has all the high expectations. Yeah. I have high expectations for Florida State.
College football playoff.
And so they could be, of course, Florida State could be that team. They're the only ones that have a chance to come out of the ACC this year, in my opinion, of even going to a playoff.
Yeah.
Especially now now if Clemson could run the table, but even then, it's like, who have you beat besides Florida State?
Right.
Florida State has that LSU win on the back of their shoulder still. So I mean, it's still
Their next big challenge is this weekend. Florida State and Clemson.
It is.
And it's at Clemson.
And it's at Clemson.
So, like,
anything can happen in that game.
And Clemson stinks this year. They're like Alabama. Clemson and Alabama, it's funny. You know, they were two teams just years ago, and now look at them. You know what I mean? Like, it's the complete narrative change. But no, it's still, like, even though Clemson's been kind of rough, it's still at Clemson.
But here's something else, though, Alex, that's totally different from when the times Alabama and Clemson were going up against each other in the national championship. The transfer portal has completely opened, and the rules are totally different. It's like free agency. You can go anywhere you want to at any given time, and there's nobody policing it. There's nobody monitoring it. And until the NCAA or whatever committee comes down and finally puts a fist down and says, we can't do this anymore, this is what you're going to get.
Yep. I agree. And it's just going to continue to get worse, honestly.
Yeah. Yep.
It was funny involving that. I saw a TikTok earlier that I thought was pretty funny, where it's just like it was Alabama is how they were, you know, impersonating it, where it's like, you know, 2008. It's like two football players in 2008. It's like, yo, man, my $2,500 just came in. Like, this is great. It's like, you want to go out, whatever, you know, and do this. And the other player's like, nah, man, I got to send that $2,500 down to my family, man. They pour his mug. He's just like, all right, dude, yeah, no big deal, whatever. Then she's like, versus today. It's like, hey, man, my $300K NIL deal with Nike just dropped. It's like, what, you want to go out into the clubs, whatever? And the guy's like, yeah, man, my $400K, you know, Under Armour deal just dropped. Let's go out. I'm just like, that's accurate. Yeah.
Well, it was like 60 Minutes did an interview with Deion Sanders, and Shador has like this big car. I can't remember what kind of a car it is, but it's this huge SUV. And I'm like, man, this kid's 19 years old making more money than me and you combined times whatever. And come on, people. We just gotta do something about this.
I know. Because, I mean, there's a lot of situations where it's like you have different players that have this sort of NIL money, and they're just going to like destroy their life with it. Because think about Johnny Manziel. While he was getting a lot of money under the table, you know, because that oil money was fake and it was secretly doing autographs. Imagine Johnny Manziel in today's college football.
He'd be not only would he be the highest paid player in college football, he'd probably be the highest paid NFL player. Do you know how much their merchandise they made just off of him?
Yep.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It is.
It's kind of like, so you look at at Colorado right now.
Yep.
They said merchandising sales have gone up over 500% versus prior year, just by winning a couple of football games.
Deion effect, baby.
And it costs more money to go to a Colorado Buffalo game than any game in the country. Are you kidding me? This team won one game last year, and Deion Sanders comes and he's like, "Here we go."
Hey, I honestly, I love it. I really do. I love what's happening over there in Boulder.
I do too.
I think they're about to possibly lose 2 games in a row, though, especially since they don't have Travis Hunter this weekend against Oregon. That's going to be tough.
That's going to be tough.
But here's the thing, though, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this out here. Even though they don't have Travis Hunter versus Oregon, I think Colorado is still going to put up a damn good fight against Oregon. I think Oregon's going to win, but I think it's actually going to be a damn good fight.
I think they have a better chance of beating USC, because both teams are kind of in the same situation.
They are.
They've got a great offense,
No defense.
And their defense is mediocre, if not terrible. So they do have a good, in my opinion, I think they'll have a better chance of beating USC, just for that simple fact, and they're going to be at home. But it's like, why are you rushing the field after beating Colorado State? Come on, people. Let's think about this here. Think about it good. I understand you've won 3 games. I get it.
It is also a historic rivalry for them.
I get that. But at the same time, come on, people, think.
I will say this, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. At least on the book that I use, Colorado is a 21-point dog. I would hammer that.
I would hammer it too.
Look, they were a 20-point dog for TCU, and you best believe I hammered that shit because I knew they were going to cover.
So with this, of course, the Saracen only lets you do 14 games at once.
Yeah.
So I'm like, 14-game parlay, $1. What? I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it.
Hey, look. Every week I throw together a 20-leg parlay for like $1.
Where do you go through? Anyway?
I go through Betley.
Okay, see, Saracen only lets you do 14 games, so it's
20-leg parlay with Betley throwing $1.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and man, that's why I'm so mad, because the past 2 weeks I've come so close to hitting it. Week 1 I missed 2 of 20. Last week I think I missed 2 2 or 3 of 20. Like I'm getting close, Ricky.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit one.
Hey, you're gonna hit one.
I'm gonna
right
hit
before,
one.
Hey, you're gonna hit it right before vacation. Then you're gonna say screw door dashing.
Hey, look, this weekend, baby, I need to hit that 20 leg, man. I got a vacation in 10 days.
Oh,
baby.
it's not just that. You can save half that stuff for Nintendo World in a couple years.
I know, man. Shout out to that.
And shout out to my Missouri Tigers, by the way. Listen, y'all, I was kidding about Vanderbilt, but I'm very on Missouri this year, and I tried.
Note that an Arkansas fan just said my Missouri Tigers.
Hey, my Missouri Tigers, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. I like this Missouri Tiger football team.
He likes them from a different standpoint.
Exactly.
He's not a fan.
Exactly.
Let me stress that to any.
I'm not a fan. I was joking about Vanderbilt, even though I was kind of hoping Vanderbilt would win 8-9 games this year, just so I could be like, yes.
Yeah.
But no, Missouri.
I was watching into that game.
Boy, that kid can kick.
No, I was watching into that game because unfortunately I did have Kansas State money line, so that did not work out in my favor. So I was watching that game with disgust. But no, I mean Missouri, man, this is a team that's currently on the rise. I mean, this coach, he's been doing a lot to try to turn this program around. And it showed off this week. Kansas State, while they don't have Deuce Vaughn, they're still a very good football team. They're potential, Big 12 championship winners. I think it'll be tough to get past Texas, but they're a good team, and man, they showed up.
See, and that's something else I'm wondering is. I know Oklahoma has improved a lot more since last year. They've improved quite a bit.
Oh my God!
But here's the thing: when they play somebody that can go toe to toe with their offensive defensive line, can they still get the same push? And so that's going to be the big question for Oklahoma. I still think Texas is the best team in the Big 12 right now.
I agree.
And so, but I think whenever that game is, I don't know when. I think it's next week or the week after. I can't remember.
It's a couple weeks from now. This week they got Cincy. The week after that. They have Iowa State, and then 10-7, they have Texas. So, looking forward to that.
Let's see if there was any. Of course, we've already kind of gone over the Colorado. Of course, that was
that game was electric though.
It was. And something I wonder.
I stayed up very late watching that.
so I know he hit him with the shoulder pad and everything like that, but it's like it was definitely a dirty hit.
Yeah, he was already out of bounds.
But why in the world is he not suspended? Why is nobody coming down and suspending? That's the thing that is like, why not suspend the guy?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Because I feel like he should be suspended a game, but it is what it is, and because like I said, while it's a dirty hit, I don't feel like it was with full intention. You know what I mean? I really don't. That's my take on it.
Here's why I disagree with you on that. Had he gone over to check the guy. Had he gone to check
That's
the
fair.
guy,
That's fair.
I think I wouldn't be near as infuriating with it as what I am
That's fair.
right
That's
now.
totally fair.
And so, guys, I'm going to tell y'all something. It's one thing watching it on TV. It's another when you see it in front of your face every Thursday and every Friday. You have some of these kids, they think this big hit.
For context, he's a ref, everyone.
Yes. And they think this big hit is going to get them. And you'd be surprised when you see it. Because sometimes it's in JV games when the games mean absolutely nothing because they're trying to prove something. And so, but this is why the game has been cleaned up quite a bit. And so that way this stuff doesn't. Now, had he had the ball and was running with it, then I would sort of be like, okay, I can see why why that was such a bad hit, but he was out of bounds. His own teammate had slowed down and basically stopped. And next thing you know, he gets hit. It was ridiculous. But how about big shout out, Florida International, baby. Florida International, baby, 3-1. Oh, I told y'all 8 games for Florida International. Everybody thought I was crazy about Florida International.
Dude, I thought you were on high as a kite whenever I saw that.
I said 8 wins later. I'm 5 wins away.
Man.
We still have a long way to go.
Yeah, I know, dude.
We still have a long way to go. And then, of course, Cal got that big dub against Idaho, which I thought Idaho was going to do it.
Hey, but Sacramento State did.
Sacramento State did it, baby. Shout out
Let's
to them.
go. Let's go, baby.
Shout out to Sacramento State.
And both those teams play this weekend. Sacramento State, Idaho, and FCS play. Go ahead and spoiler alert. That is our FCS game of the week. I'm looking forward to that one. Let's go Idaho, baby. Let's go Vandals.
See, I'm trying to look through here. I don't think there was many games like that. That's the thing. There was a lot of Texas State putting up 77 against Jackson State.
Yo, Texas State's a good team, man.
I mean, they're just out of nowhere.
Yeah, they got a program. All right, they got something cooking down there. All right, I'm here for it. And
so but other than that, Nevada did put up a good fight against Kansas. I will give them that much. But But other than that, there really wasn't a whole lot of, besides, the handful that we talked about, there really wasn't a whole lot of college that was, that really poked out this weekend.
The one thing that, that poked out to me, the last note, and then I'll let you rant on BYU and Arkansas.
God.
Is, I know they're not a good program, and I know they're a program on the rise, but man, I got to tell you, I was shocked to see Arizona State not put up a point. They got shut out 29-0.
Who they play?
Fresno State. Like, I was shocked to see that. Like, I'm a big fan of this true freshman for Arizona State, Jaden Rashada. I'm a big fan of him.
Well, they're still pretty young too.
They are, and that's why I understand why they lost, but not putting up a point, man. That was one of my shocking points of the weekend. But let's wrap up some college. BYU and Arkansas.
God, where do I begin? Alex.
Ricky.
We can't ever catch a break, man. We just can't do it. We always do something
I wish
stupid.
Jacob was here.
We always do something completely stupid and idiotic just to get it. We scored 7 points in the second half, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
7 points in the second half. We started out with a 14-0 lead, gave up a 21-0 run, go on a 17-0 run, and then give up another 17-0 run.
Yep.
We held the ball for 35 minutes. 35 minutes.
Yep.
Hey, if you guys want to do the math, there's only 60 minutes in a football game, as far as like clockwise goes and everything like that. But here's the big thing, Alex, and and I get it to an extent why Arkansas fans, and especially Hunter Yurachek and all of them, have kind of really pointed this out. We had 14 penalties for 125 yards. BYU had 7 for 45. That's why you lost the football game.
Yep.
That's why you lost the football game. It wasn't because you converted one. They converted 1 or 2 on 4th down. 2 things. 2 of 13 on 3rd down. You can't win many football games doing that. And you can't have so many freaking holding penalties called on you. Keep the hands inside. Keep them inside. I get it. That was a Big 12 officiating group. You're playing against a team who's basically in the Big 12 now. And I get that. But at the same time, guys, we didn't lose this ball game because of the officials. We lost this ball game because our coaches were stupid and our players were stupid this past weekend. 177 rushing yards, not that bad. 247 passing yards, not that bad. Probably could have been better, but the offensive line is atrocious, and Sam Pittman's not answering a damn thing about it. I'm like, come on, man. You got to answer for this. You had 400 yards to their 280, I think is what it was, and you found a way. Somehow, someway, you find a way to lose the game. And here is my rant for the week. So why does Shane keep picking Arkansas games, man? And you're not off the hook either, Alex, because you're the one that needs to veto this crap, and you're the one that announces Arkansas BYU. What do you think? What do you think, Alex? And what do you think, Jacob? What do you think, Jacob? How do you think Arkansas BYU? What do you think Jacob's gonna say? It doesn't matter who Arkansas. He picked Liberty last year, and what the hell happened? We lost to Liberty. You know what? I'm almost tempted.
I called that too.
I'm almost. Yes, you did. I'm almost tempted right now. If Florida International Arkansas played today, I'd pick Florida International right now. But and that's just the big thing. They're about to go on this gauntlet, man. This entire gauntlet of a football schedule, man. They're not going to be back at home for over 4 weeks. Over 4 weeks. We got to go to LSU, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Alabama. Yes, if we go 0-4, we're going to go 0-4. It's going to happen. We're about to lose 5 straight total games. And it could be even more than that. I don't know who they play after that. But even then, it's like we just do things so idiotic and stupid. And yes, our secondary got depleted over the weekend. What do you think's going to happen when we go to LSU, Texas A&M? Let me remind you who the offensive coordinator is at Texas A&M, Bobby Petrino.
He's going to come out swinging.
He is going to come out swinging. They're going to be up 21-0 before I blink. TV turned off. I'm done. I'm complete. I can't do this anymore. We got to get better offensive line. We got to get better football players who aren't stupid. Anyways.
So I have a couple things.
Go
about
right ahead.
That. Number one, You're right. I can veto games, but I let it ride, baby.
You can't let it ride.
Shane, I let Jacob.
I know
put
Shane's
in,
going to listen to this. Shane, I know you.
Hold on. Don't,
okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Don't do that because my other point involves Shane.
Okay.
So my first point, Jacob put in New Mexico State and Hawaii, and I tried to avoid that one to avoid that potential shame.
Hey, here's the thing, and this is why I like you more. I did avoid that game.
I did too. I did. But here's the confession I have to make, and I'm sorry, but I can't let this rest on my conscience. So Shane, the reason why he's not on today's show and he wasn't on last week is that he recently started a food truck with a buddy. So he's just busy right now, right? Hopefully he'll be back in the next couple of weeks and stuff. So with his busyness, because he's also doing his other job as well, I actually didn't hear from Shane until about 4:40. So I picked the games for him.
You're such a jerk.
So I picked Arkansas LSU.
You're such a jerk.
I'm sorry.
Anyways.
It wasn't Shane. It was
we need to make a rule on this podcast after this week. No more Arkansas games for the rest of the I can't do it. I can't do it, y'all. I can't do it. It's almost like my blood boils to a certain extent. It can only go so far. It can only go so far. It can only go so far before I die.
Man, how you feel right now is how I feel about the Bears right now.
Gracious. Oh, you should feel that way about the Bears. See, here's the thing. And I know, are we done with college?
Yeah, we're done. We're going to pros.
So here's the thing.
Going to try to get to picks in about 15 minutes so we can get you going.
Here's the thing about the Bears, though, Alex. And this is something that kind of I knew Justin Fields would struggle a little bit, but the defense is atrocious. The defense is absolutely atrocious. And here's the thing. Historically, it's the same with the New York Jets. That as terrible as the New York Jets have been in the past, one thing you can always say about the New York Jets, they usually have a pretty good defense. And it's the same thing with the Chicago Bears. They just don't have an offense.
Yeah.
Now, they don't have an offense. They don't have a defense. It's like it's completely scrambled. And the biggest thing, Alex, and you kind of hid this back during the summer when we did our summer shows.
Yep.
And you even mentioned this back in March and April when we were doing our draft shows and everything like that. One of the things you mentioned, the Chicago Bears had so much money to spend, and now they have nothing to show for it.
Yep.
This is the point where you have to look at management and say, it's time to make a change. Because they go 0-3. Who do they play this week?
Chiefs. That's an L.
Okay. They're going to lose to the Chiefs. Okay,
Yep.
If they beat the Chiefs, that'll be a miracle. But I mean,
our first win could be Week 4 at home versus Denver.
Okay, that could be a win. But even Denver hits pretty hard. But even in the whole long run, the one thing you said, you got to show something to the fans this year.
Yep.
And they're showing worse, in my opinion, because now you're getting. They let Jordan Love pass all over them.
I know.
Oh, come on, people.
I know.
Really?
I know. Like that was supposed to be our moment to show that the era of the Packers just dominating the Bears was over with Aaron Rodgers being gone. And like I said last week, I think I said this on the show, if that game would have at least been close and we lost, I would have been able to swallow that pill a lot better. But it was tough to swallow because of how it went. So when it comes to the thing about management, it sucks because it's like the Bears are in a constant cycle of GMs where we have a GM who makes incredible fucking decisions, but then also horrible fucking decisions.
Yeah.
Because in terms of all the money spent and what to show for it, I will argue this. There are a few things to show for it. Tremaine Edmonds has been incredible for us. So when it comes to our defense, our linebacking core has actually been really good this year. Our secondary's been fine. Eddie Jackson is just not the guy he ever was, that his one single good year. Jaquan Brisker, who he drafted, is still a stud. I like Jalen Johnson as well. I like this other corner that we've got. We're doing okay in secondary. Jaquan's a beast. Brisker, he's a beast. But here's the problem. Dude, our defensive line is horrible. Mm-hmm. On both sides of the ball, we have potentially the worst set of trenches in a freaking century for this team. It is abysmal across the board. Darnell Wright, our 9th overall pick, is showing a lot of flashes. Cody Whitehair is expensive and aging. Center, we're going to need a center again. Mm-hmm. Nate Davis, who he signed in the offseason, Whatever, look, he's apparently been in and out for multiple reasons. It's been cited as personal reasons, been cited for conditioning reasons. If there's personal reasons, obviously, hope all is good. I'm not going to wish ill will. But, like, that was one of Ryan Poles' big signings this season, and nothing's come out of it. Braxton Jones, our other, fifth-round drafted rookie last year, played really well, but he's gotten a lot of penalties this year. Tevin Jenkins is not playing what he was even last year, and Tevin was okay last year. Like, our lines are abysmal, offensive and defensive side of the ball. DJ Moore, great to include that with the trade. DJ's a beast. That's awesome. But it's just like, the thing that bothers me the most about the Bears right now, and it comes to management and coaching, is like, once again, we're stuck in this cycle where we have a GM that can make some really smart decisions and really bad decisions. That's how Ryan Pace was. I was one of the few people that was very neutral on Pace because the man could not draft day one to save his fucking life. But the man was a wizard in day 2 and 3. Like, he got a lot of good picks those days. And then it's just like, it's the same thing with Poles. And now we're in a state, once again, with our coaching staff, where it's like our coaching staff showed promise last year and some interesting plays with Luke Getsy last year. And then it's like this year, we ran the same fucking screenplay 3 times in a row. Like, everyone at this point has seen Levante David's comments where it's like, yeah, we knew what was coming. They had the exact same formation, the exact same lineup and everything. And it's just like, I don't get it. And it's just like, the thing that bothers me is just like, it's a mix of two things. I'm bothered at the coaching level of holding Justin back, and I'm mad at Justin for Justin holding himself back.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's like, when you see him out there, you see him, he sees things that's not his first read. And you see him where he'll tap the ball where he's about to throw, because that's his little tendency, is he'll tap the ball and then throw, but then like he won't throw it. And I don't know if it's because of him or it's because of coaching. Like, he's holding himself back and the coaches are holding him back. They're not letting him just let him rip it. Let him get out there and just rip the ball.
And every good quarterback that's ever played the game, they've been able to make their own mistakes and learn from it.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's too timid, like he's afraid to make mistakes.
Yes.
Because you and I both know this though. Justin Fields has to be that quarterback you expected him to be now.
Yes.
You can't wait on him 2 or 3 more. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Depending on draft position, you may not see Justin Fields after this year.
No, you won't, because here's the thing. If you got to keep in mind, we have Carolina's first pick as well.
Yes.
So, and we're looking abysmal as it is now. And you have to keep in mind one key fact, to all Bears fans and to all just football fans in general. This regime did not draft Justin. They inherited Justin.
Yep.
This is not their guy.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think the Bears made a mistake by letting Jalen Carter go?
In hindsight, with how he's playing and how his legal issues have played out, yes. But in the moment, I still would have made the same decision.
Yeah. Okay. I would have too, but
I still would have made the same decision.
Yeah.
Because there was too many character issues. But at the same time, did we make the right decision? Honestly, really, probably, because let's think about it. Jalen's obviously got those other issues going on in his life. What's the better fit for him to be in? A hard, stable system of a Super Bowl team with Philly, loaded with teammates that he played with, or a shit show in Chicago?
Yep.
That is why I will forever argue against every single Bears fan that say, oh, we should have drafted Patrick Mahomes. No, we shouldn't have, because we would have ruined Patrick, just like we ruined Trubisky and just like we're ruining Justin Fields.
Yep.
Like, I'm still in the boat, obviously, now. Might have a little bit different opinion with all the legal issues that came out. I was always in the boat. We should have drafted Deshaun Watson, because Deshaun Watson had proven it at the college level. And I'm not saying he would have done it in Chicago, because we were a shit show, but out of all the quarterbacks that draft, he would have had at least the best sliver of a chance to be successful. We could have ruined him too. I'm not saying he would have been a star, but he had the best sliver to be successful.
He ruined himself, so it's not.
Yeah, I mean, true. But like, we shouldn't have drafted Patrick. We would have fucking ruined Patrick. Like, up front, he wouldn't have got any time to set. I mean, his quarterback above him was Mike fucking Glennon. Come on. What's a better situation, being with Andy Reid and Alex Smith, or being with John Fox and Mike Glennon?
Yeah.
Come on, people. No, I mean, like, hindsight's always gonna be 2020 though. But like, we're ruining Justin Fields, and you're right. If we can't let Justin just play ball for the rest of this year, Justin's not gonna be a Bear next year. They're gonna trade him, and we're gonna try to go for Drake or Caleb Williams in the draft, or even Shadur Sanders. If he comes out, which honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and throw out an early prediction. he will not enter the NFL draft.
I don't think he will either.
I think he's going to ride it out with his dad.
Yeah, because
I really do.
you look at
because he's already making money.
Yeah,
he's going to ride it out.
exactly.
I mean, think about it, people. Think about it. I understand he could be a top 5 pick. I understand it's a lot of money, but think about it like this: he's already making a lot of money. He comes from money because of his dad.
Yep.
He went to an FCS program over multiple FBS programs to play for his father, and you're telling me he's not going to come back for his senior year?
I think he'll come back one more year. Yep.
Yeah.
I
So,
really
but
do.
anyway, so it's basically
think
Caleb
both of
Williams
them-
and Drake May, Michael Penix Jr. He'll be a first-round draft pick, but not top 5,
And
obviously.
I think Travis Hunter will come back next year too.
I think he will too.
Because you think about it, almost a similar situation with the exception that Deion's not his father.
Yep.
But he went to an FCS program. Could have went anywhere he wanted to.
Yep.
He was the #1 player in the country, and
Yep.
he chose to go to Jackson State.
And you're going to try to tell me he's going to enter the pros
No,
next year?
I don't think
the
so.
only way he would enter the pros, both of them would enter the pros, if Deion was adamant they should. But I don't think Deion's going to be adamant one way or another. He's like, yo, you need to do you. You need to do you. What feels right. That's the way Deion would go. But either way, not the point. Like, if we end up getting top 5 pick with Carolina and Bears picks, like, we're going to draft a quarterback. And I saw someone propose a situation earlier to one of the Bears people that I follow on Twitter. It's like, what would you do if the absolute worst situation happened and the Bears somehow got the first and second pick because Bears and Carolina both stink? What would you do? And that's a very interesting question because the person that I follow said it's like I would draft Caleb 1 and trade the second pick to a heavily needy quarterback team and bring in a haul. And I'm like, that's a good choice. But I mean, you could also probably get an unbelievable pick at second pick as well. You can get Caleb and Marvin Harrison Jr. You can get Caleb and the leading offensive tackle for that draft. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, but. No, for the first time in my life as a Bears fan, I'm legitimately just tired. Like I'm already done with the season.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I don't give a fuck right now about the
Yeah.
pros. Like I'm so done. Like it's to the point where I'm questioning my fanhood because I'm tired of the same fucking cycle all the time.
Now here's the thing though, but if they do by some miracle they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, you're gonna have a totally different voice next week.
I'll have a shocked voice next week. I don't see that happening.
That'll be your shock. That'll be your shock.
That will be
your-
my shocking one.
Now, but here's the thing though, Alex. Even though my Arkansas Razorbacks have done absolutely pathetic, I can say how about them Cowboys.
Yo,
I can
true.
definitely say how about them
That
Cowboys.
defense is elite, man.
And that's the biggest thing that really cares. And Dak played well this past weekend. I think if you start seeing those red zone conversions to go from field goals to touchdowns, I think you're going to see an even better team. But I mean, it's almost like this. They're almost getting to the point where both sides of the football is unstoppable.
Yeah.
And that's scary in the NFL. That's
Yep.
very, very scary in the NFL. And I understand they played a Giants team, which everybody was one. That was something else I would have called out last week. Who was it that called out? I can't remember if it was the Giants or if it was another team that, we ought to be shocked and worried right now. I'm like, no, you shouldn't. It's the NFL, people. Come on. It's a marathon. There's a reason. The NFL does not demand perfection as like what college football does.
Yeah.
The NFL's perfection it's not necessarily perfection, but it's like what pieces can you put together during the regular season that can make you a success in the postseason, and that's what that part's about. Now the Giants, they're not going anywhere. Let's just put it that way. They're not going anywhere. They may make the playoffs, they may not.
I wanted to touch on that game. We'll get to it in a sec.
I was worried about that, but anyway, but it's like y'all, the NFL is a sprint. And why is anyone shocked by anything that happens in the NFL? They shouldn't be.
Yeah.
It's the NFL, people. Anybody can win on any given day in the NFL.
Right.
Just like the Bears could beat the Chiefs this weekend. I mean, I'm just saying.
Imagine if the Bears beat the Chiefs, who remind you the Chiefs OC is Matt Nagy. Imagine if the Bears somehow sneak that win. Legendary.
Exactly.
No, with the Giants and Cardinals, I was going to ask, this game is so confusing to me.
Yeah.
Because, are the Giants, that bad and that regressed, or are the Cardinals a lot better than we thought? Because this is 2 weeks in a row where the Cardinals have been competitive. I'm so confused about these teams. Because both these teams are not playing how they thought they would. I thought the Giants would be a lot better. I thought the Cardinals would be a lot worse. I don't understand what these teams are.
It's confusing to me because I'm like, next thing you know, I'm looking on this, I'm like, 20-0. What the heck is this going on?
I thought we were about that. I thought the Giants were
thinking, okay, it took the Giants. I had to add it up. I'm like, 6 quarters now. For 6 quarters, the Giants did not score.
Yep.
And you're not playing the Dallas defense. You're playing the Arizona Cardinals defense.
Exactly. I'm so confused by these
It's like,
teams.
what in the world? Then Saquon goes down, and
Yep.
all of a sudden, Daniel Jones shows up. And here's something that bothers. Here's something that bothers me. They had Eli Manning for how many years?
Like 15.
Okay, 15 years. I
Roughly.
understand. I understand. You won a couple Super Bowls. Shout out to that.
Yeah.
Did you know he was only barely a 500 winning quarterback?
Yep.
And you guys tell me that they complain about Daniel Jones. Come on, people. Daniel Jones is a decent quarterback.
Daniel Jones is Eli
Goodness
2.0.
gracious.
Daniel Jones is Eli 2.0. If the Giants somehow make the Super Bowl, I'm putting all my money on the Giants. He's an Eli 2.0. I'm calling it right fucking now. He's going to continue to be mid for another couple seasons, and they're going to randomly go on a run, be the 7th seed in the NFC, and make it all the way to the Super
I hear
Bowl.
these people on ESPN complain about. I'm like, why are you complaining about Daniel Jones?
I know.
It's like Eli wasn't that much better.
Yeah. No, I know, man. Another game that I thought was pretty wild is honestly Commanders and Broncos, because Commanders are playing a lot better than I thought they would. And I didn't expect the Broncos to be good necessarily, but I expected them to at least catch a dub against Washington.
Yeah,
and
Russell Wilson, 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah, 107 passer rating.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, that's not bad. He actually played a decent game. Their defense really let them down this game. And there are going to be times that you're going to have shootouts like this, and not really much of a shootout, but it's for NFL it's a shootout. And sometimes it just takes 1 or 2 plays, and the Commanders just wanted it more, and they ended up winning the football game.
Yeah. Also, shout, of course, to the Monday night game with Nick Chubb. That was brutal.
Yeah,
I love the Chubbernaut, as I call him. Love Nick Chubb, dude. He's a beast, and I hate to see that happen to him. Another out for the year situation there. So, Brady, if you want to do a trade on fantasy, you need a running back. Let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know. You had Nick Chubb. You need a running back. Let me know. I got a couple.
Yeah.
But no, that was very upsetting to see for him. That absolutely sucks. And you had the battle of the mids with the Saints and the Panthers.
Yeah.
Ooh, buddy. Bryce Young is not looking good this year either.
No.
I mean, did you see the one quick little play where he didn't even line up under center? Did you see that? Did you see that?
I didn't see it. But
No,
it's still
like
funny.
they got in shotgun position, and it was him and Miles Sanders in the backfield, and Bryce was like looking around, looking at the defense, and he lined up under the right guard. Like, it was shotgun, by the way, but then all you see Miles Sanders just push him over. I'm not even kidding, man. This is caught on live TV, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
I'm starting to wonder if they had too much of high expectations for him for his rookie year.
Yeah, I know.
And so I mean that because usually when you get a quarterback like Bryce Young, 'cause there were so many questions
Yep.
going into the draft.
Yep.
Should they draft him number 1? Well, C.J. Stroud's not doing any better.
No, CJ's playing really well. It's just the team sucks.
Oh yeah, the team.
Like, I mean,
but I'm
CJ
just-
put up 384, 2 TDs, no picks, 103 passer rating. CJ's 4th in the AFC right now in passing yards.
Oh, so that, okay, so
Yeah,
so
and
that
he's
is funny.
he's the
I just know
first Ohio State quarterback in history to pass for over like 350.
I didn't pay attention to him in week 2, but I know week 1 was a little rough for him.
No, CJ's actually playing pretty well. I ain't gonna lie. I'll give him the credit on that one. You want to know who else played well this weekend?
Anthony Richardson.
And who else played well?
Trying to remember off the top of my head.
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew Mania, baby.
Running wild
Dude,
in Indy.
Okay, so hang on. So yes, I do remember that because where was I can't remember. I think I was at I'm trying to remember what restaurant I was at where I was watching some of this stuff. And then I started looking up some of the stats, and I'm like, Gardner Minshew, 19 of 23 for 171. I'm like, oh my gosh, Minshew Mania, baby. But
Let's go. Let's go.
But yeah, the Texans do stink. I mean, but here's the
Yeah.
thing. CJ Stroud threw 47 times. Oh my gosh. He's a rookie, people. Come on.
No, I actually love that because, man, one thing I was listening just a little bit to the Pat McAfee show today. They had Dan Orlovsky,
Yeah.
and one thing that Dan said that I love and I've never really thought about it, but it makes so much sense. He's like, or Pat asked him, like, if you were a coach for like, Justin Fields or any of these rookies, what would you do for that player? And Dan's just like, I would tell them to go out and just fucking sling it.
Yeah, and that's
he's
and
like,
that's what Justin Fields needs.
That's what he needs, because like the way Dan put it, he's like, I don't give a shit if you get 20 interceptions. Go out there and just fucking sling it so you can learn what you can get away with and what you can't. And I'm like, damn, that's so smart.
Yeah.
If a team has patience with a rookie quarterback, just let them go out there and let them play, and so they can learn the speed of the game quicker. I'm like, damn, that's intelligent.
Yeah, and it looks like Anthony Richards is going to be out with that concussion. But,
Yeah.
I mean, that stinks because he's actually played well. I mean,
Yeah, he has,
and I mean, of course, you got the C.J. Stroud, but he's done very, very well for a rookie so far. And like I said, I still think he's going to be a bust eventually. But the first 2 weeks, he's proved me wrong. I mean, keep proving me wrong, Anthony Richardson. Keep proving me wrong.
I mean, at this point, he's the best out of the three. I mean, at this point, let's be real.
Yes,
he is.
I will give you that.
He's
much.
the best out of the three right now.
But let's be honest. He's also on the best team out of the three.
He is, yeah.
He has more veterans on his
is,
team
yep.
than out of the three.
He is.
So, I mean, but yeah, either way, though, I don't think he'd do this at Carolina.
Hey, real quick, because I was just checking Twitter. I saw something, but it went away. It refreshed, but I know what I read. I read that Ohio State has now booked to play against the actual Ohio University. So Ohio State
no
and
one
Ohio
cares.
Bobcats, baby, they're going to be playing here in the next couple of years. But anyway, so we do need to work to get you out of here so you can go to that game. So one quick thing I wanted to shout out before we get to picks here and our dicks of the week as well is a shout out to, from the looks of it, the XFL and the USFL are going to be merging together. I think that's an amazing
Who
move.
is now?
USFL and XFL.
Yes,
they're going to merge.
it needs to happen.
That would be an incredible move for spring football. 16-team league between the two of them. I think that'd be awesome. I hope to see the actual news for it the next couple days. All right, let's hit our dicks of the week, which I will have a sound effect next week that's basically going to be like dicks of the week. So there you go. There's the sound effect for you. So I'll do mine. So if you're new to the show, our dicks of the week is our most disappointing, infuriating, confusing, hype, and shocking moments of the week, hence our dicks of the week. So grip it and rip it, boys. Let's do it. My most disappointing, it's actually the Nick Chubb thing.
Yeah.
That was very disheartening. I hated to see that. Last week it was the Bears. The Bears have now been upgraded from disappointing to infuriating. The Bears are my most infuriating thing of the week. Most confusing thing of the week. Already touched on it. Giants and Cardinals. What the hell are these teams? I can't fathom what these teams are. My most hype moment of the week. Minshew Mania, baby. Minshew Mania running wild. Let's go. And then the shocking moment of the week was Commanders and Broncos. So all pro football for me this week. The Commanders and Broncos, I was very shocking to see the Commanders just actually really playing some ball, man. I thought they were going to tank this year personally.
Yeah.
But those are my dicks of the week. So what's yours?
So I've already gone over disappointing people. We're not going over
Yeah,
disappointing.
yeah.
We're not going. And here's the thing, though, guys. And I didn't really have a high expectation for Arkansas this year like I did last year.
Yeah.
And so, because like I said, I'm just in that point where I'm like, you know what? This is what Arkansas does.
Right.
It doesn't matter who the coach is, ladies and gentlemen. It just matters who it is. Infuriating the hit, the big hit on Travis Hunter.
Yep.
That was infuriating to me. And I'm even more infuriated because I know we've touched on this, but I'm even more infuriated at the people who are who are giving death threats to. I'm like, come on,
And then
people,
also,
stop being a child.
Definitely should add on to my infuriating the fight that happened in New England.
Yes.
Because again, that resulted in a man's death. Who the other guys are now going to get manslaughter and jail time for something stupid. That's just infuriating to me.
Yeah.
People make me mad.
You and I have the same confusing hype. I'm still in the Dion wagon. I think I'm getting up there. Like the one thing I wish that I wish I didn't see the media as much on him because I think he's kind of because in my personal
Taking
opinion,
over.
Exactly. But at the same time, the players love it.
Yeah.
So keep
Hey, it's
keep
good.
going.
It's good TV, baby.
And nothing really shocks me anymore. But
Sure.
I really didn't have much of a shock. I really didn't have much of a shock this past week. I think if you're going to put shocking on there, no, Alabama's really not shocking to me. I kind of called that, but as terrible as they played against UCF, I thought. Sorry,
I think you can count that as a
USF,
shocking.
I think the only reason I would count that as a shock is because the usual Alabama would have at least won by 30, and they didn't even come close.
Yeah, so I think that'd be a fair shocking one. All right, let's start with the NFL because I feel like we can blast through those pretty quickly with
Get
no
over the
issues.
NFL real quick.
Yeah, turn the music down. We'll do the old intro. I've been doing the old intro recently for for our pick time.
Sounds good.
All right, NFL time, Thursday Night Football, Giants and 49ers. Just give me the Niners.
Yeah, it's not even going to no, the Niners. If there's anybody right now that I could say they're the best team in the NFL right now, it's the 49ers. They've got an offense. They've got a defense. They've got special teams. Healthy, I don't know who could beat them healthy right now.
That's a good question. Miami and Dallas would be the best potentials. Next up, Indianapolis and Baltimore. I really want to pick Minshew Mania versus Baltimore. I want to so damn bad, man. Who do you got here?
Give me Minshew Mania,
All right,
baby.
Let's go.
Give me Minshew Mania.
Indianapolis, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, Denver and Miami. Give me the Fins.
Yeah, I did mention earlier, Russell Wilson has played a lot better, but Miami's just a much better team. They're also at home. They go 3-0.
New England at the Jets. New England 0-2 for the first time since 2001.
I want to take New England in this one.
I'm locking
for
them.
the simple fact is I don't know. I don't know if Zach Wilson's going to be able to read that defense or not. It's going to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
If Zach Wilson could play better, because the offensive line has got to play better.
Yep.
That's why they lost. It wasn't because he threw 3 interceptions, because that offensive line was atrocious. I'm taking the Patriots.
Next up, Houston and Jacksonville. Give me the Jags, baby. You know it's all about Duval County.
Yeah, Jacksonville losing 17-9 last week to the Chiefs, but
Good fought game.
I think they rebound this week, but I think Houston does make it competitive.
I do too. Tennessee and Cleveland. Give me the Brownies.
I'm taking the Titans.
Okay. All right. I respect it. The 2-0 Atlanta Falcons versus the brand new Lions. Give me the brand new Lions.
So the one thing that Rex Ryan pointed out with the Atlanta Falcons, they run the crap out of the football, and they trust that system as all get.
John Robinson's a beast.
He is, and I think he's going to be a superstar in the league one
Me
day.
too.
I think Detroit, with the loss last week, I know it was disappointing for them because they had that big win against Kansas City.
They also lost their new signed quarterback Gardner Johnson. He got a torn pec.
That sucks. So
Yeah.
hopefully, but I think Detroit rebounds this week at home. Give me Detroit.
New Orleans and Green Bay. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, I think New Orleans has the better quarterback. Obviously, they have the better offense. I'm sorry. I think New Orleans has the better defense, but I just don't think they're going to be able to beat Green Bay in Green Bay. I'll take Green Bay as well.
Buffalo and Washington. Give me Buffalo.
I'm picking the upset.
Ooh, Washington at home. I like it.
Picking the upset, yeah.
All right, next up, we have 2 0-2 teams that should not be 0-2, which is wild that we're here.
That's confusing.
The Chargers
What's going
and
on with the
Minnesota.
Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah.
That's the confusing part.
Man.
I forgot all about Minnesota. I really did.
LA, and this is a tough one, man. These are two teams
So
that I
here's-
wouldn't be. I'm shocked or haven't won a game yet.
So here's the thing. You think they fire the coach if the Chargers lose this game?
This game, no, but if a few more, yes. Man, give me the Chargers. I don't know. Both these teams, I don't know who to trust.
That's the thing. I'm going Minnesota.
All right, Carolina and Seattle. Give me Seattle, man. Carolina looks abysmal.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to go into Seattle and win that game. Give me Seattle. We could skip the next one, by the way.
Yeah, it's yeah.
We can actually skip the next two, actually.
Chiefs and Dallas. Go ahead and lock it in. All right, Pittsburgh and Vegas.
Oh,
Is
my
this the
goodness
Sunday night
gracious.
game?
This is the Sunday night game, I think. I think you're
God.
right.
No, it
This
is. Yeah. Oh my
Oh,
God. This is going to be abysmal.
So
don't tune into Sunday Night Football. Go do something else. I don't know who to pick, man. I guess give me Pittsburgh.
I'm taking Pittsburgh
Yeah.
too. I think Vegas. I've seen improvements in Vegas and everything like that, but I've got high expectations for Pittsburgh. Give me Pittsburgh.
Philadelphia and Tampa. Baker has been good
Yep.
this year, but I'm going with Philly. But I'm think it's going to be a close
Philly's
game.
defense has not been up to par here lately
Yeah.
either, and they're both. This could be a shootout, but
It could be.
If there's going to be a shootout, it's going to be with Jalen Hurts. Give me Philly.
Man, yeah, true. And then the Super Bowl rematch of the Rams and
Oh,
Cincy. Both
man,
teams have
Cincinnati.
struggled.
Golly.
I don't know, man.
Joe Burrow has got, and I don't know if he's going to play this week or not. If Joe Burrow does not play, I'm going to switch my pick to the Rams. If Joe Burrow plays, there's no way he goes 0-3. But the Rams offense, oh my gosh, that rookie receiver they have,
Yeah, Puka.
Puka,
He's a
goodness
beast.
gracious.
Fuck Jacob. He picked him up in fantasy. I was so mad about that. Jacob, if you need a running back, I want Puka.
I'm taking the Rams.
All right, I'm taking the Bengals. I'm gonna go ahead and rock with it. All right, let's jump over to college. We do have 30 games. We got a speed run through. So kick things off. Georgia State and Coastal Carolina. I think it's gonna be a good game.
Coastal Carolina's going to win this football game.
I agree with you. Wisconsin and Purdue.
So, in this, what rivalry is this or whatever trophy game
I
they
don't know.
play or
I don't
whatever
remember
it
what
is.
it's called.
Purdue has not played up to par. We've actually seen Wisconsin play good football. I know they got beat last week. Give me Wisconsin.
Give me Wisconsin as well. Got a good old Ivy League matchup here. Ivy League started last week. We got Brown and Harvard. Give me Harvard.
Yeah,
in this
this could determine the Ivy League champion too. And I know I think Dartmouth is going to be pretty good. Yale should be pretty good. This is going to be a pretty competitive conference. But I'm also going to take Harvard.
Boise State and San Diego State. San Diego State just had a unfortunate loss against Oregon State. I don't remember how Boise did last week, but give me Boise.
They won, and I think that they need that win. They needed that win to kind of wake up a little bit, and hopefully this will start going on. I've also got Boise.
16 ranked Oklahoma at Cincinnati. Cincinnati had, I think, a bad loss last week or an unfortunate loss, but I think it's going to be a pretty good game, but give me Oklahoma.
I think it's going to be a blowout. I think Oklahoma's going to blow them out.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be a good game at all.
Florida State and Clemson. Hopefully Florida State wakes up here so we can keep true with our predictions. At the same time, I'd love for Florida State to lose, but this is a tough one. I feel like we saw a little bit of a crack in the armor this past weekend. I feel like they're going to wake up. Give me Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State's going to wake up in this football game. Clemson's offense is atrocious.
West Kentucky and Troy. Give me Troy.
Yeah, I'm taking the Trojans as well.
Auburn, who's played a lot better this year against Texas A&M, who's been just kind of there.
Yeah, Texas A&M should win this football game, but I'm taking the upset. I'm taking Auburn.
Give me Auburn as well. Kentucky and Vandy. Give me Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm surprised this game's even. Who picked this game?
I put it on there.
Come on, man. You did this on purpose.
I did.
Just so that way I would rant about my Commodores. I'm rooting for you, my Commodores, but Kentucky's going to beat you. I'm sorry.
SMU and TCU, I called it during the picks. I think, the preseason stuff, I think SMU is going to get this win. I called it then. I'm going to call it now.
TCU cannot figure out their defense for anything. I know that they've played better, but no, give me SMU.
UCLA, 22nd ranked UCLA versus number 11 Utah. Utah has had some struggles, man, and I think a big factor is they don't have Cam Rising. The other guys played well, don't get me wrong, but it's a big difference from a vet like they've had with Cam Rising. Give me UCLA, actually.
I want to pick UCLA. I would pick UCLA if it was in Los Angeles. It's going to be in Utah. Give me Utah.
Ole Miss and Bama. Give me the upset.
Yep.
Give me Ole Miss.
Give me Ole Miss as well, guys. Alabama's going to be a 3-4 loss team this year, and I called this at the beginning of the year. I want everybody to know I called this at the beginning. You're not going to see an Alabama team that you're used to seeing.
Yep. BYU and Kansas. This one's a little tough. I'm kind of feeling Kansas. This is where I'm leaning.
I'm leaning towards Kansas because BYU's defense is not that great. Kansas does have a pretty good, and I know Kansas struggled against Nevada, and I know BYU just beat, you screw it, Kansas. I hate you, BYU, bunch of Mormons.
Colorado
I don't
and
hate
Oregon.
Mormons, I just hate BYU.
Colorado and Oregon. You going to call the upset, or you going to go with Oregon?
No, I've got to go with Oregon as much as I want to go with the hype.
For pick's sake, I'm going to go with Oregon.
Yeah, for just the hype.
I
of it
hope
and
I'm
everything
wrong,
like that.
though.
I think we skipped one.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Let's see. Boston College, Louisville. I think that might be the one we skipped.
Yeah, I think we did
Louisville.
skip that. Yeah, I'm going to take Louisville. Louisville did struggle last week, and I know Boston College had a pretty good hype, but that's a tough loss.
Okay. Maryland at Michigan State. Give me the Turtles.
Yeah, the Turtles going to win
Let's
this
go,
game.
baby.
Yeah, Michigan State's about to fire Mel Tucker.
Well, he's already fired. Yeah, that's already started because of everything that came out of that with the sexual harassment stuff.
Yep.
All right, so next up, New Hampshire and Delaware. Both teams are pretty good, but I like New Hampshire a lot.
I like New Hampshire a lot as well. Delaware's a very good football team as well. Give me New Hampshire.
Liberty and FIU. Give me FIU.
I'm taking Liberty. Liberty's a much better football team than FIU. FIU, even though they've got a great defense, I don't think they're going to be able to score as much against Liberty.
This next one's hard for me. Oregon State and Washington State. I think Washington State's gonna win, but I gotta go with the Beavs, baby. Let's get it, because Jacob's a Cougars fan. I like the Beavs, so I gotta pick the Beavs. But man, I feel like Washington State's gonna catch this dub.
It doesn't matter which one I pick because whoever I pick is gonna be the opposite one. I want to ride with the Beavs on this one. I'm gonna take the Beavs.
Let's go, baby. All right, LSU.
Arkansas, please.
versus whoever that other team
Dear
is.
God, please. Hey, Arkansas. Y'all remember that time in Arkansas? What was it, 2007, when we won in 3 overtimes at
Yep.
Baton Rouge? If you give me one of those games, God, please, God, just let them win one.
LSU.
Yeah, LSU.
App State and Wyoming. Give me the Cowboys on this one.
I'm taking App State. I know Wyoming played great against Texas, but App State's a totally different football. Give me App State.
Memphis and Missouri. Give me Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri's going to go
Two
forward.
different Tiger teams.
Yeah, Missouri's going to go 4-0 on this one. Memphis is starting to peak a little bit, but they're not as good as Missouri.
Mississippi State and South Carolina. Give me the Gamecocks.
Yeah, the Gamecocks played much better last week. Mississippi State got blown out. I don't think Mississippi State's near as good, without the late Mike Leach. Rest in peace.
Yep. Iowa at Penn State. Give me Penn State.
Yeah, Iowa's in the same situation they were in last year. They don't have an offense. Give me Penn State.
UCF at Kansas State. This is going to be a challenge here. I'm gonna believe the Golden Knights are going to figure it out. Give me UCF.
Kansas State hardly loses back-to-back games.
I agree.
Keep that in mind. Give me Kansas State.
Montana State at Weber State. Good FCS matchup here. Give me Montana State.
Yeah, Montana State should catch this dub. It's going to be a very, very good football game, though.
And then, unfortunately, Jacob had to throw in New Mexico State and Hawaii. You know how I got to go with, baby. Give me the Bows.
If I were to tell you, Hawaii is a 2-point favorite in this game right now.
Are they?
They
I
are.
didn't check that.
Yeah, if I looked at it correctly, they are. They also play on Sunday.
Which is a little weird.
Which is weird. That's weird. That's confused. That's going to be my confusing of the week. Why are you playing Hawaii on Sunday? I'm sorry, man. I got to take New Mexico State.
I understand. All right, let's go to FBS game of the week. We got number 6 ranked Ohio State going to visit Notre Dame. I called it before that I think Notre Dame's going to get this win. And now that Jacob's not here, I feel better saying it. Go Notre Dame. They're going to catch this win. If Jacob was here, I'd feel more inclined to do an OHIO with them.
Yes.
But give me the Fighting Irish on this one.
This time it's OH. Oh, no.
Yep.
Give me Notre Dame. And here's the thing. Ohio State's been doing exactly what Ohio State usually does. They play crappy, but they'll run up the score against whoever they can run up the score against. Notre Dame. It's Hartman time, baby.
Hartman's been a beast this year.
Yes, he has.
All right, FCS game of the week. We got a hell of a good matchup. We got Sacramento State fresh off an upset versus FBS team versus Idaho, who couldn't get it done against the FBS school. Who do you got here? It's at the Kibby Dome.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's really on there. But I'm very high on Sacramento State. I believe Sacramento State is one of maybe 2 teams that can really run the table. Other than South Dakota State, there's only 2 or 3 other teams I've got that can really run the table. Sacramento State's one of them. I'm going to take Sacramento State.
I want to take Idaho. I love the Vandals, but for pick's sake, I'm going Sacramento State. I hope Idaho wins, though. Next up, we have, of course, the terrible game of the week presented by ATFS, and that is the Citadel versus South Carolina State. Jesus Christ. One team's averaging like a point a game. One team's averaging 5 points a game. What are we even doing, people? I don't know. Give me South Carolina State, I guess. It's like the choosing lesser of evils. I don't fucking know. Like,
this is probably the best. This is probably the worst of the worst.
This is so bad.
That we've picked. Unless we go down to like Division 3 or something like that.
Which I think we've done. I think Tyler did it once. I don't remember who it was.
I remember because I can't remember who it was.
He still talks about him to
but
this
it was
day.
like I listened
Baylor
to that
Hardin,
show.
maybe Mary Baylor Hardin. I don't know.
And he actually keeps
Tyler,
up,
if you're listening to the episode right now, text me and remind me who it is.
He actually keeps up with them.
He does.
Can you put random teams on the Run Your Poll, or is it just FBS and FCS?
I think it's just FBS, FCS.
Because there's a game I want to do in Division 2 in a couple weeks. And if we can do it, we're going to do it.
If it's on there, I'll put it on there for
all
you.
right, then. Anyway, yeah, South Carolina State's going to win this football game. They can actually score.
They're the one who score.
And they play better competition. And they play better competition.
Yeah. All right, picks are locked in. Go ahead and turn that down. God, what a shit show, dude. Go ahead and hit our outro music. We need to get you on your way.
Oh, man.
But any last thoughts, anything we chat about or anything about the games this weekend? Hell of a great college football weekend ahead.
Yeah.
Unbelievable college football slate ahead. Looking forward to it. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this upcoming weekend. And it's the first Saturday I've had off in a while, so hopefully I'll be able to sit back and watch a little bit of college football this weekend.
I'll be doing some dashing, but I will be watching games on my listening to games on my phone while I'm dashing around, so I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, that's going to do it for this week. I will, of course, be back next week to react to everything that happened after an incredible college football weekend ahead. Random heads up now, and of course, I'll shout out next week as well. The week after the first week of October, I won't be here on the show, but please make sure to still come by, support the boys, watch the show, listen to the show. They'll be on here running the show. It'll be a great time. I pop in, talk some trash like I did last year. We'll have a good time. But make sure to join the Discord, check out Rogue Energy, Agent Inc., all that stuff. Until next time, guys. Bye.